Alrighty. So, anybody's got any questions? We'll get started. And this is actually my very first live. So, I don't think anybody, if you get on and want to ask me a question about the stroke that I had, any recovery questions, how it's coming along, some different things about when I think I might get back to the trail. Certainly do those questions, throw them down in the comment section. All right. So, as far as some of the things that the channel is doing right now is, we're going through the rehab and in-home therapy right now. So we did the therapy that was pretty, what do you say, intense. So it was 3 hours a day. It was at the one facility, Encompass is the name of it. So Encompass, I was in a hospital setting, but it also had rehab. So I had physical therapy, speech therapy, and also occupational therapy. I was joking around and said, "Oh, I thought they were going to get me a job with occupational therapy, but didn't get a job. Still unemployed." And I am on short-term disability right now, which is going to be a big benefit for. It does last for I think until July. I just got notified about that, so it's going to be till July. Enough back in the hand, and then the strength come back, and also walking. So I am standing on my 2 feet. So still doing the up and down exercise, and some of the different things with weight bearing. So doing like push-ups up against the stove or a sink or the back of a chair. So doing that kind of stuff. But if anybody has any questions for me, feel free to throw a question in there. Let's see. Top chat. Some messages such as may not be visible. Live chat. All messages. Oh, there we go. Got you to start. Oh, it just faded in and faded out. Live chat. All messages are visible. Yes, David, we are got me to start my channel 20th, right around. Lisa and I watching several YouTube channels. Jay wanders out. Jay had hiked the Arizona Trail, so Lisa and I were out visiting Dave and Katie from RNRV Chronicles several years ago out in Arizona. And while we were in Arizona, we did some hiking and really had a great time. And when we got back to Pennsylvania, we started watching Thru Hikers. Actually, started watching Jay do the. What a difference! Yeah, 30 days. What a difference! Big difference. So we were watching Jay wanders out do the Arizona Trail, which is 800-mile trail. So we were watching him on YouTube, and we're just fascinated by the landscape and how going from the bottom of Arizona to the top of Arizona, how much elevation change. I mean, he was in desert. Then he was in snow when he got up around the Grand Canyon, but we were watching him, and Lisa said to me, you ought to do a channel yourself sometime. And thought about it. Well, what would I do it on? Well, I like the outdoors. So my wife and I, we went for a walk with the dog out back in March a year ago to the Weiser State Forest District. And we went on a nice walk in the spring, got back to the house, and I told her, I said, "Hey, I'm going to run back and I'm going to make some coffee in the woods. So I went back, made the cup of coffee. I burnt my tongue. You can see that video. Go back and watch it. I hit that little micro burn. It really boiled it hot, and it was getting dark, and I had to sip it quick and doing the filming and everything, trying to figure out how to do the whole editing. But I went to take a sip and I burned my tongue. So it was pretty fun. But I put that video up in March. From there, I thought I would only get about um, five subscribers. And I actually got one subscriber, which was my fifth one. And that's the pumpkin contest. Is his name on here. But he's the first person I got that wasn't family. So I got four, and they were all family. And then I got him. He was the fifth subscriber, and amazing how far we've come in a year. So I had hit 500 subscribers, and then I had the stroke, and I was joking around, so I hit 500 and had a stroke. So, but literally had the stroke right. It was like a day after I hit 500. So we hit 500 subscribers, and then Jay Wanders Out and also Ramdino on Trail had both given me shout outs, saying, hey, let's get this guy over 1,000. And within a short time, I mean, it took a year to get to 500, and I think 2 weeks to get 500 more to push it over 1,000. So I think right now we're at 1,053 or 54 when I looked last. But that's all because of you guys watching the videos and coming along. And I know I was doing the Stealth Camping Alliance. That was really fun. 2 days before I had the stroke, I was sleeping under a bridge in a hammock. So that was the last video. So I had, but I had already set the video for premiere on a Saturday. So I had the stroke on a Thursday. Then it was Friday, and then Saturday, laying in the hospital bed. The premiere came on at 10 o'clock. All the nurses said, we won't come in and bother you during your premiere. So I ended up watching the premiere from the hospital room as I was deteriorating in the stroke. So after I had the stroke, how you doing, bud? Doing great. PA Patriot prospecting. Hey, I wanted to ask some of my prospecting friends, Hang Loose. I have been looking for his channel, and I haven't seen it lately, trying to find it. Hang Loose Prospecting, Josh. So if you're out there, Josh, if you see it live, shoot me a message. Let me know you're all right. So, so some of the playlists, the gold prospecting, we're due. Something I'm getting set up already for this. Going to be our first venture out. Oh yeah, Hang Loose Prospecting, but something that I'm getting set up for because they're coming. They're getting to PA. Some are already in PA. That's the Appalachian Trail Thru Hikers. I'm right at the just past the halfway mark on the Appalachian Trail. And last year in June, if you go to the playlist, that's the Appalachian Trail Thru Hiker list. We've been pulling for you. Yes. Amen. Thank you very much. I know I've been seeing y'all's comments have really been encouraging me a lot. And I appreciate all the prayers, because I think that's one of the reasons why I'm doing so good and coming along so good. So this is my non-dominant hand. This is my left hand, but it's actually becoming pretty dominant. This is the stroke hand. So this whole side was a stroke. So one of the things I'm getting set up to do, in fact, Lisa and I will probably do it later this coming week. I've got to get out and buy a few more things, but we're getting the back of the vehicle set up for doing trail magic. So if you don't know what trail magic is a blast. So I get soda, sometimes some beer. Getting better through on the right side. Yes, definitely getting better. Trail magic, as the hikers are coming through, hiking to Katahdin, Mount Katahdin in Maine. So when they hit us, it's about 1,150 miles by the time you get to us. Now, Jay, that we're really looking forward to talking to, Jay wanders out. I think Jay, 3 weeks or less. He's probably going to hit Pine Grove Furnace General Store and do the half-gallon challenge. I like to drive down there and meet him down there. That's when you get halfway on the trail, you eat a half a gallon of ice cream. So a regular size ice cream and a smaller one, which makes a half a gallon. So you got to eat it in one sitting. So that's always fun. We are getting set up. We're going to have like ramen noodles, tuna packs, Spam. Now, Spam's hard to find in the single packs right now. I've been looking in at our Dollar General. That's where I get most of the stuff at. It's the tuna pack is about $1.35, $1.40, and we get some different flavors of that because the hikers will mix that with the ramen noodles and a little bit of mashed potatoes, and they call it a ramen bomb, and then they'll eat that. So. Yeah, it's terrible. I got sick. But one of the things that wasn't affected as much, I mean, I'm sounding better. I may sound real good to you the way I'm talking, but I can tell there's a difference. I'm still not quite there yet with my speech, but I like to talk. So, and I don't know if I'm any good at it, but I like to talk. But Lisa and I are going to set up. I've got the table in the back. In fact, if you want to go on and check it, hey, Stitch, how you doing? Glad that I stumbled on thank you. Yeah, I'm glad you stumbled on too. And hey, thanks for all the comments that PA Prospector and also Stitch you've been throwing on my channel when I put a video out. I'm trying not to be repetitious. I know tomorrow's video we recorded today. Lisa and I, we didn't want any kids when we got married, but 34 years ago when we got married, we ended up having our one daughter, and then we ended up having 5 more kids. So we have a total of 6, and we have quite a few grandchildren starting to come along the way. So today, this video, I thank for everybody that has been thinking about me. So we went to our second oldest daughter's house today for a kind of like a little bit after a birthday party because Lisa's been working, but we hit Sunday. The 21st she turned 29, and she's our second oldest daughter, and our grandson Rhett, he was there. So it's fade away. Let's see if I can hit this button and bring some of the chats back. Let's see. 6 kids and 15 grandkids. Yeah, we're getting a lot of grandkids. We have 2 on the way. So Gabby is expected, and then our other daughter, Rachel, who has 3 of our grandkids, she is also pregnant and due. So they're both due about the same time. So we'll have 2 more grandsons. Both of them are having boys. Now our second oldest daughter, Gabrielle. So Rhett, he's a little over a year old, but our daughter went through the in vitro fertilization. So she tried for a full 3 years. to get pregnant, and she was doing the shots and stuff, and they did the injection and harvested eggs and then implanted, and he was born. He took now. The second grandson that's coming from her is going to be all natural. So they showed up Christmas Eve or New Year's Day with, and Rhett had a shirt on, going to be a big brother. So that was the big reveal to us. And then we just did the smoke thing, and it's a boy. So now Rhett, now Gabby, that daughter, we miss that work. Yeah, I miss being there. But that was pumpkin contest right there. He was my 5th subscriber, and he works. He was the only subscriber that wasn't family in the early days that subscribed to my channel, and I was shocked that I got 5 people, let alone where it's at now. So, but yes. So I would say probably in 3-4 more months, we're gonna have 2 more grandkids. So pretty exciting. I know Lisa's excited, and I'm excited too. So, but yeah, with the Appalachian Trail Thru Hikers. Now I say Appalachian, and if you're curious and going, "Oh, Tony, it's supposed to be Appalachian," well, it's Appalachian Mountains, but the trail is called Appalachian Trail, and I always used to say Appalachian, and everybody would be, "What? No, it's Appalachian." And I was like, "No, that sounds kind of weird." But I did find out from Randino. He said it's Appalachian, so I'm like, "Oh, that's Appalachian Trail." So that's what we call it now, and you can be like I used to be. It's Appalachian. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna set up, and as the hikers come through, we're gonna have ramen noodles and different things laid out that they can just grab and kind of do like a resupply. And then what I usually do is I'll interview them, ask them their trail name, ask them if they've got a YouTube channel or Instagram. So if any of buddy wants to, Tony, could you tell us your favorite camera? Oh, my favorite camera. Actually, hold on one second. Don't let me forget that. But what they'll do is we'll ask them their Instagram and YouTube name. Okay. And then they'll resupply as they're going out. So that's some of the stuff that we're going to have. But my favorite camera actually is my phone. So I do everything on the Samsung phone. All of my videoing, I've got one camera, and it's my phone. So when you see different shots, sometimes I'll take maybe 6 or 7 angles just to pour a cup of coffee or to make a cup of coffee. But I may not use all 6, but maybe 3 of the 6 or 7 angles. And then I just splice them together through the editing, which is all done on my phone also, which is an editing app called Power Director. So that's the camera, and also the software that I use, which is the app. So I'm going to touch this, see what that last question was. Okay, so I actually go see my regular doctor tomorrow. Now, I haven't seen the neurosurgeon yet, so just mainly just doing the rehab. And this week it's going to be Tuesday and also Thursday is occupational, and also physical therapy coming in. Like I said, I'm done with speech therapy. You may not think I should be done with speech therapy. No, just kidding. But I'm not quite talking the way I used to. Maybe it's an improvement. It's not. I don't know. But I do pronunciate the words a little more because I kind of get like a lazy tongue, especially as it gets tired later. Galaxy 21 is the when I have, wait, I have an A32. Ah, there you go. Yeah, I do it all with with the phone. Phones are amazing nowadays, with the technology, with the types of cameras that they have. I did have a Samsung 9, so 9 Plus, I believe. Make sure you let Ramdino know. Oh, know where you will be doing trail maps. You can let folks know. Oh, okay. Oh, and then there was another comment there. So I do trail manager. Let's see if this is going day by day, but much better now. Oh, thank you. Uh, as far as trail magic, a lot of times, right where we're at, we're set up to be about. It would take an hour and 5 minutes to get to Duncannon, which is kind of outdoorsy there in Duncannon. I don't like the setup so much down there with Trail Magic because if I do, it's before people get to town, hikers get to town. Because once you get into town, then you're gonna there's places to get stuff. I always some of the things that I learned a lot last year in June and July and August and September when we were doing Trail Magic. I learned a lot because I would interview them and say, "Hey, what's a good thing for Trail Magic?" And even if you bring a trash bag, someone was saying, just bring a trash bag to a trailhead. That's considered trail magic and just taking trash off of hikers, through hikers, because they're carrying their trash for sometimes 3 and 4 days, and it's a while to carry that. So just getting rid of some of the trash is great. Fresh fruit, yeah, is a huge help. Yes, Stitch, definitely, and. But we are, I said, an hour and 10 minutes away from Duncannon. So the Doyle Hotel is there. So we'll drop some off in the hiker box at the Doyle. Uh, but we'll go to our first place that we ever went, time that we did Trail Magic. It's in the playlist. Velcro was who we had interviewed. Was my first interview was Velcro. Amara Gardner is her name, but talked to her and so forth. But that's about an hour from us, maybe. But 45 minutes. We're probably from three trailheads: Swatera Gap, I think Route 645, and then the 501 shelter, which is iconic. So, because a lot of them will order pizza, Chinese food, you can order right there. So, probably what we'll do this week is we'll probably set it up at the 501 shelter. I know I don't give a lot. Usually, the hikers, I like to do it before they go to a town because that way they can get what they need from us and not have to get so much in town. Maybe they could skip town altogether. But some of them like to go to town, at least do other supply and just to have a day off or a zero. But we're going to be doing that this week. I'm looking forward to it. I think my friend Dave, who you've seen on a couple videos lately, because they're back from Florida. So I think I'd always tell Dave about last year. Man, he'd go, man, that's really cool what you guys are doing for the trail community and hiker community. And so we love doing trail magic. This year might be a little rougher because of the funds. Not so much like because I'm on lower disability, like my pay is way down 60% based on disability, but Lisa's working this year, so that's good. But we're gonna if you want to contribute to Trail Magic, feel free to buy coffee.com/RA 2.0. And some of you big help buying the coffee and so forth. I know you guys have done that, and that's a big, big, big help for us. But yeah, so uh, gonna probably start with. I know Dave wants to get me out into the woods for a hike, just a small one. I'm not as stable on my feet yet. I walked a couple blocks yesterday without my cane, but I did get the trekking poles the other day. But when I go to put this arm out, because I'm trying to get that rhythm, so that rhythm of walking, and this arm's just, it, the reflexes are slow. And the more I walk, the more this hand wants to tighten up. So it's almost walking like a fist. I noticed that when I was walking the other day. But so, anybody have any other questions? As far as I want to get out and I want to do an overnight stealth camp. So maybe somebody can drive me and drop me off, and I can, make it work. But I'd like to get out there and do a stealth camp soon. I don't know if I know Squib from Stealth Camping Alliance. Him and I were talking about doing a camp together, doing a collaboration. I'm not sure if I'd be able to. Let's see. Just meet me. Yeah, no, that would be awesome to have you come up. So the camping, I definitely, like I said, I just cleaned the back of the Hummer out because 2 days before I had the stroke, well, actually, that morning, yes, the comments don't stay up long; they fade quick. I would look up. Yeah. Yeah, so it's gonna, the nerve signals. It's really weird how that works. Jay had asked me if he said his hands were really, really cold the one morning, and he said he was having trouble operating his hands, squeezing them together. Asked if that's what it feels like for the stroke, and I was like, yeah, because I know a couple mornings my hands were really cold and I couldn't operate the camera. I couldn't turn things. But that's a lot how it is. There is no, well, I do have a little strength in this hand. I had a water bottle and I was squeezing the water bottle. Squib just put out a great vid. Oh, did he? Yes, Squib. Yeah, he's not too far. Him and I have talked already about doing a video together. In fact, one up in Centralia, Goodfellows. In fact, I scoped the place out. It's a cemetery in an abandoned town that's no houses around anymore. Well, there's, I think, 3 houses, but that's where the government had come in and bought out all the land because of the fire that's underneath in the coal. So there's a cemetery up there. I went out up there about maybe a week before the stroke, and I was scoping it out, looking to see what would be a good spot for that. But I just got the Hummer cleaned out from the stroke. I had my backpack, all my knife and saw and all that. I just thrown it in the back of the Hummer because I came home, slept for a little bit, and then went to work. But I had uploaded the video because I had most of it done just while I was out there camping at night. I just lay in the hammock and edit, because I was hearing a lot of noise, but that was a mess in the back. So we've got that cleaned out, and we're getting the stuff for the Trail Magic put in there. I just bought right before the end of the year, I had bought a griddle. So one of those gas griddles or little propane griddles. So it's got a flat top on it, and I want to make some grilled cheese. for the hikers as they're coming through. So I've got that in the back of the Hummer. I had my one son-in-law put that in there so that I can cook when I go out next time. So I'm not driving right now because I drive with my right side, and also I can steer with my left side, but the gas and the brake is the right foot, and I haven't gotten out to try if I could do it with the left foot or not. I probably could, but I've got to check a few things just before I do that. So right now I'm dependent on others to drive. So I think Lisa definitely wants to get out, but I've got to get a couple more things before we can go out and do the trail magic. So we're probably going to set up either Tuesday or Wednesday up in on 501. But there again, I have to wait till the nurse comes and then my therapy's done. And so it's going to be a late in the afternoon because that's about 40 minutes away, 45 minutes away. Oh, hey, Australia. Yay, all the way from Australia. Yes. Yeah, YouTube is amazing, isn't it? To think that just we can go on and create stuff and share it and meet people from all over the world. And speaking of camping like Bune, camp like Bune, Raul and sent those Belgian chocolates. And I gave my daughter for her birthday, I let her have a chocolate. And Dave and Katie from RNRV Chronicles, but there's a lot of chocolate in here. so I eat one quick. So beautiful. So Belgian chocolate. I mean, Raul did the video where he goes and he buys the chocolate from the store. Yeah, I still have that chocolate. Yes, there was a lot there, but I got to be careful about too much eating too much of it. But but some of them have really good stuff in them. Oh boy, that's good. I'm sorry I'm eating in front of you. mm. Man, that's good chocolate. So I'm sure I can make some friends real quick. So some have asked what kind of dog that I have. So Bailey is a blue heeler lab mix. So she is 5 years old. She just turned 5, but smart dog. She's really, really smart. She'll sit up, she'll lay down, she'll play dead, and you shoot her with a gun. Well, not a real gun, but, just go bang. And she falls over and plays dead off for treats. So she doesn't just do it for free. Hey, brother. Oh, Steve the Transit Camper. Yeah. Stitch, I still got some of them chocolates. Man, they're good. But hey, I can't wait to get back out there in a stealth camp. I actually have never hammock camped before in my life. Hey, you're awesome too, brother. You're good on camera. yeah. Tap dance. No, just kidding. But I have never hammock camped before in my life. Never hammock camped. And I'm a stomach sleeper. You should have seen me in the hospital after a stroke. I couldn't move this arm or that leg, but I managed to get on my stomach. And so I was throwing that arm around in my leg. But I get on my stomach, they come in, how'd you do that? I can't sleep on my back except for in a hammock. Now, like I said, I didn't know if I'd like it or not, so I ordered one off of Amazon. It came in, and I got a underquilt. And then I decide I'm itching to get out and try this thing. So I went out and set it up at the 501 shelter in the camping hammocking area. And I videoed that and tell, the tarp and all that stuff, tell everything about the hammock. So then I go for my very first hammock overnight. So it was earlier, I think January, earlier in the year. But Snowstorm Izzy was coming up the East Coast, and I decided, I think I'm going to go hammock camp. So I went up to Centralia, which isn't far from here. That's the town that's on fire. So underneath, but all of the houses are gone, but probably 50 years ago, they ripped all the houses down. But the trees are still there. I thought, oh, I can find a spot and put my hammock up. So I set the hammock up 2 hours before the snowstorm Izzy came. And I mean, my wife's going, hey, you want to leave me what the passwords are? I think she thought I was gonna not make it the night, but they were all worried about me. Like, come on home, come home, please come home. And I'm like, no, I'm committed to doing this. And so I was eating. I was hearing voices in the woods. So it was 18 degrees and 30-mile-an-hour winds at 3 o'clock in the morning. And but I made it all night, edited the video, and put that up. That was my first solo hammock camping. Now, I didn't know the term stealth camp because after that video, Squib had said, you ought to check out our group. Guys, I'm turning in, be good. Get better, Tony. Well, thank you, and good night, brother. So, Squib had told me about the group Stealth Camping Alliance. So that's when I jumped over and became a member of that. Too nervous? Steve, come on, you're not nervous. So my boys looked at me. Oh yeah, they took you there. Okay, Chip. Really amazing. That's not far from where I live, Centralia. But I did the overnight, and really in the morning, when I walked down to the car, someone had pulled up right up almost to the bumper of my car with theirs. You can see the tire tracks. So I don't know who that was, or if maybe they thought the car was stranded and somebody's in there. But I hung a bag out of the window, and then I walked up into the woods. So I actually turned that video with all of my B-roll into an ASMR relaxation video. So that was pretty cool. You can see just the wind and the rain hitting the tarp. It's great relaxation one. In fact, if you guys are making some of your videos, save some of your B-roll and just turn them into an ASMR, a non-talking video, and put it up for relaxation. They do pretty good. A lot of people like those, and I like listening to my own and fall asleep to it. But I love hammock camping. I love laying in a hammock, even though I'm a stomach sleeper. Yeah, that is a crazy place. I don't know if the fire I know is still burning, but it's not burning like it was years ago. But on real cold mornings, you can still see the steam coming up from the cracks in the ground. But that's that coal fire that's underneath that town. So the government, like I said, relocated and bought people out and then tore the houses down. So all the sidewalks are there. The telephone poles are there. Stone that used to be like a fenced area is there, or divisions in the streets. So in the beginning of that video, I show a picture of what Centralia looked like back in the day when all the houses were there, a side by side of what it looks like now. So like I said, there's only, I think, 3 houses, and they were holdouts, like they just held it out. But alrighty. So I'm probably going to get going. This is my first ever live, and I think I'm going to do them every once in a while. One to kind of, if anybody has any questions on my recovery, how it's coming along. So I know I'm doing real good with speech, um, getting there, and I am getting. So this is, and that takes a lot of work to lift that arm up. So the arm. So I have some strength coming back. Yeah, they so he just commented about Centralia. So Graffiti Highway, uh, been there for years. People would spray paint on the highway. It was one of the roads that went down from Centralia, but it was a blocked off road. So it was a section of road that had cracked open and steam and fire was coming up through it. And then people would spray paint on the road, but people racing up and down the road. I stay video promo. Oh, oh, thank you, brother. Yeah, get this here. Oh, Lester. Yeah, 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 yeah. Hey, Lester. Yeah, God bless you, brother. And Lester is one of my gold panning friends. So we did a collaboration. We did a video together earlier or later in the year last year. And Lester and I were planning, hey, Lester, you just went to Georgia and North Carolina gold panning, and those were some great finds down there. But him and I were looking forward to maybe this year getting together and going out and doing some gold panning together. And I'm getting back there, getting back and trying to get back to the creek because I want to get to that creek between two mountains that I was at last year. So, but the Centralia Highway, they actually, the owner, because people were going up and down in ATVs and wheelies and all kinds of stuff, they were, there was like hundreds of people going up there. They actually brought in dirt. Yeah, we'll definitely make it happen, Lester. So they made mounds, dump trucks of dirt all over. So covered basically the whole road up with mounds of dirt. So, and it's monitored. They kind of watch it now. But that's a shame because that was a 2.0. Hey, Joe. Yeah. So, yeah, that's Centralia. And I know, like I said, I might do another stealth camp up in that area coming up. So there's a couple places I've been looking at. It's funny that once you do a stealth camp and you get away with it. So like my Shikellamy State Park, when 4 days later, the place that I stayed at was completely, it was like 9 feet underwater. Um, Recovery poster boy. Yeah, everybody's stroke is different. I can't compare mine to anybody else's, but I know I'm trying really hard every day, working on it because I want to get back to doing the things that I like to do. I was when I was at Dave's yesterday up in the RV. I told him, I said, hey, I can jump. Because the other day I was thinking, I wonder if I can jump. Because I'm going to need to jump across creeks, jump on rocks from rock to rock, when I can. So I was like, oh, I think I can jump. I jumped at the house. Now, I didn't get off the ground very far, and I still can't get off the ground, but I jumped, and then I was like, oh, yeah. You're learning to do everything again that you learned to do. So if you watch, like I was watching my grandson today walk, and he's walking, he's stumbling. I said, hey, you're walking like I walk. Well, he's learning to walk. He's learning to step. And there was the balance, I was walking on uneven ground in the grass, their yard. Uh, and then he's just motoring right along, but he's learning to walk, and he's falling, and he's learning to walk. I haven't fallen yet, thank goodness. But that's exactly like in a split second, you can lose the ability to walk. And you've got to relearn those neural connections all over again. Because my daughter is a physical therapy assistant, and I was asking her today, I said, hey, do you think I'm going to get my hand back? Hit that, like, everybody. Oh, thank you, guys. So I was asking her, do you think I'm going to get that hand back? And she says, well, I hope so. I said, no, don't say I hope so. Tell me I'm gonna, not I'm gonna, I hope you do, so I hope I do, but I'm going to do everything I can to make it happen. So, like I said, that was the 24th. So we're only like 28, almost 30 days away well, I guess 30 days away from when I had the stroke. And then for 4 days in the hospital, it got progressively worse. In fact, if you watch the beginning of the stroke series, you'll see I was still using this hand. I was pointing to their finger and I was touching my nose. And then the next day, I'm missing their finger and I'm missing my nose. Then by the third day, I couldn't lift my hand or my leg off the bed at 3 o'clock in the morning when the nurse came in to do a check. And they kept telling me, the swelling's going down. It should hit bottom and then you'll start your recovery. I'm like, no, it's getting worse. And I had a lot of fear. So even though everybody's symptoms are different and where they lose and what they lose, the one thing that is the same is fear. We all have the same fears. So the fear of losing the ability to do something, the fear of not being able to do what we used to do. Hey, Lisa, cool to see you too. Cool to see me live. Wow, yeah, it's my first live ever, so I don't know how well it's going, but I'm hoping it's going good. And if you got to jump off because I'm going to just keep talking. I like to talk. So, but with the symptoms, one thing that's the same with everybody is, like I said, fear, questioning, very emotional. And they say that's all part of stroke, as it affects your emotions too. So, I mean, literally, there was times as I was, I can attest to the fear bit. Yeah. Oh, they're doing great. Thank you. Says, yeah. So, you're doing great. Good for our car listening. Yeah, there you go, Joe. Yeah, the fear, I'm not going to be able to take care of my family. For me, that was one of the things, like, you know, uh, just simple things. But then the emotions are sometimes, I was trying to get out just the fact, hey, this is Tony, Random Adventures 2.0. And then I would just break down and I'd cry. And I'd have to delete it and then do it over again. And I did it like 4 times and get real emotional just saying Random Adventures 2.0 because I know what that means to me. Getting out there, having an adventure. People ask me, well, what was 1.0 or was there 1.0? Well, Random Adventures was the original name. I was sitting at the red light, and I think I played that in one of my videos where I'm sitting in the red light, turning the camera on, and put the camera on the dash, and I said, hey, this is Tony. I think I'm going to do a YouTube adventure channel. And I look up and the light's green. I say, oh, the light's green. I pull away and the camera fell off. That is kind of where it all started. That was the first time I recorded myself, was in the car on the way to work. And then I scanned the sun going across the field. And then I edited some of that and used it as part of my video that I put up when I went and made the coffee in the woods. So, like I said, your emotions, one is a big one, but emotions being affected. So I did that like 3, 4, 5 times, and then I set the camera down and said, I just can't think about it anymore right now because I didn't know if I was going to be able to hike again. I didn't know if I was going to be able to get out in the woods again, And the whole part of when I said it was Random Adventures was the original name. But when people would ask me, and I'm surprised that pumpkin contest found it. So because when it was just random adventures, when you put it in, 9,000 random adventures will pop up. Hey Tony, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too, brother. And so Mark, and all these random adventures will pop up on the screen and be like, hey, I did a random adventure today, or we did our random adventure. So all these people were posting about random adventures, and I got lost in the mix. So I added the 2.0, and said, so when people ask me now, well, what does a 2.0 mean? Well, it's a random adventure, but next level. So it's one step above 1.0, which is 2.0. And then one day I was driving and I was like, I got to come up with a sign. So I would do like this and then turn my wrist, point, and then an O. And I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. So then I was just driving. I was going 2.0, 2.0. So I was just driving, just dropping, doing it, and started sharing it. And then one of my coworkers said, oh, isn't that going to be so cool when someone sees you out on the trail and you're way down there on the trail and they see you and you see them and they go, and then you look back and you go, yeah, 2.0. So, and just the thought of that made me tear up, because to think that just a very easy sign, nice to meet you, Tony, Fashion Gang Science. Yeah, that's my 2.0. You can be part of the 2.0 family. You just got to learn to go 2.0. So I was really surprised the other night when Randino did the 2.0 on his news thing about the Appalachian Trail. Did the 2.0, and then Raul from Camp Like Bune over in Belgium did 2.0 for you, Tony. Did 2.0. So one of the neat things is I started doing hashtag random adventures 2.0. As people go out, and like I said, some people are just really nervous to go in the woods. They just are. They're just afraid of it, and there's nothing really to be afraid about. Hey, Mark. Oh, thank you for that. That little $4.99. Appreciate that. I didn't know that was even a thing. So I just got my first. I think that's super chat. Maybe that's. But thank you very much, brother. Really appreciate that. Yeah, go grab a coffee. So doing the coffees, it's just buymeacoffee.com/RA 2.0. So if you go on any of my videos, it's in the description area. So I started doing the 2.0 about maybe 8 or 9 videos towards the end, as I was going to have had that stroke in March. So I think I started doing around October. I think for the hunter safety, when I did the hunter safety video, I took some arrows and had them sticking out of my butt all over. I come running out of the woods, and I can't run anymore. So I'll be running again soon. But I had a really, really fun time making some of those videos, and I'm looking forward to doing it again. We have a good time when we're out there. I know a lot of stuff I don't capture on camera because I just use the one camera. And some of you may ask again what I use for videoing, and it's only my phone. So I do everything on my phone, and I've got a tripod that extends and different things. You can pull the camera off or the phone off. It's like a quick disconnect. Sometimes I'll drop that right down on the ground for low shots. And then the editing software that I use, and it's really good. I think it was $37 for a year, but you get all the music, and it's great to edit. I edit it all on my phone. I did not have a chance to get coffee. At least a day off. No, appreciate it. it's a blessing. It's if you can do it, and if you can't, it's no problem. So, but they do help a lot right now, a lot right now. So but so I do all the editing on my phone, which is really good. It really helps a lot because I can edit on the go, basically. Right now, it's just like one hand editing because I can't do this hand is good right now. Oh, Lisa, thank you so much for the $10. That was a blessing. Oh, that's why you put so with the dots. I got it, Lisa Dale. I appreciate that. So, uh, you know, I'm just I'm just blown away by all the generosity and the kindness of everybody. It really means a lot, a whole lot, very much, very much. Um, any idea on maybe what you guys would like to see me get out and do again? Uh, I, I know the editing or the filming is a little tougher right now because I like to do a lot of different angles to the editing process. It's going to take a little bit more time to do. Sometimes it takes 10 minutes just to go 5 feet down the trail because I'm moving the camera behind the tree to get a shot this way, and then sometimes I'll stick the camera up in the tree, shining down the path that I'm going to be walking by, and then down at my feet for one, and then stepping over the camera, then walking away from it. And all that happens like 10-15 minutes. I can do that now because I'm not as fast as I was. But trying to work that camera and all the different things is a little bit more difficult. So there is a couple gentlemen that I'm going to be doing some. Did you freeze or is it just me? I hope I'm not froze. Okay. Yeah, so it must just be Stitch. Well, unfreeze ya. So hopefully you're unfrozen. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think it's me. Am I good? Maybe. I think I'm good. I could go. And then you think you were frozen, right? So I couldn't do that. So I don't know if you saw, Dave and I went to Cabela's the other day. It was funny. We're walking down the aisle, and he went to go get a cart, and he came back. But right before he got the cart, we just started out in your own yard, and just start out doing your own thing, and yeah, maybe that's something I'll talk about here. Work your way out. I start to do one in mine. There you go. Your arm strength back, so you can punch me in the. So what? I don't want to punch anybody. You're good here. Good deal. Yeah. So yeah, no, I get that arm strength back. But one thing I want to do is I want to definitely get out and do an overnight. So, but stuff is in your yeah, I could do that, couldn't I? Stuff in my yard. That yeah, I could do that for the first one, but I don't have any trees to hang my hammock on, so I could lay the hammock down in the garden and just throw the comforter over me and call it a hammock. What would you call a hammock laying on the ground? I don't know what think of a word for that, but it would work, I guess. You don't have to hang a hammock from a tree, just like use it as a sleeping bag. Look kind of weird, but I like the gentle blowing back and forth in the trees and just that back and forth. Love that part of hammock camping. And then making the fires. It just, it's fun. Fun. Yeah, well, we'd have, what would be cool is if we had like a big get together somewhere and we all hammock camped somewhere. There's a place not too far from here. It was built in the 1850s, 1840s, right around there. There's a room. It's like a restaurant now, but it's part of the water company. And I was in there the other day, right before I had the stroke, because I wanted to interview the owner. She bought the place a couple of years ago and is turning it into a restaurant. But it's used to be on what's called, actually, so it used to be part of the wagon trail. Now, she told me something that I thought was really, really interesting. So they're in the trail, like on a trail, when there's something leaning across the trail, like a log or something, it's called a pike. And there would be a guy on like these wagon train trails. Now, this one came from Reading over to Sunbury, and it was not too far from this hotel. But there used to be a guy that would be down there, and when you showed him your token or gave him a token, he would turn a big wheel that would move that pike out of the way. And that was on the way to Sunbury. And if you didn't, you had to go back and buy a token and come back, and he would move that pike out of the way. So she said that's where the term turnpike came from, because the guy would turn a wheel and move the pike out of the way so you could go on the trail down to the next town. And so then we have that today, the turnpike, we pay a toll to go through. Thought that was really interesting, but there is part on the one mountain over here, part of that wagon trail that went by that hotel, the old wagon train stop. So I want to go over there and talk to her about that. But I thought that'd be a neat place to hang, or get a bunch of people to come and hang hang on that property. That'd be pretty cool. I have to think about talking to her about that, maybe doing that sometime. But I want to thank everybody for tuning in. It's been over an hour, just over an hour, so I'm going to sign off and say thank you much and get going. But maybe we'll do this again. Maybe I'll make it a regular thing. Give you all an update. Maybe once every Sunday night we'll do that. Joe, thank you very much for that super chat. Thanks for being you. God bless, Joe. Thank you so much. And but thanks everyone for jumping on board. Oh, yeah, Joe just jumped up there again. Thanks, Tony. Stitch, thank you, Stitch. So guys, thank you very much. I think I'm going to try to do this once every Sunday. So this was a lot of fun. I really like this, because it gives me a good chance to talk to everyone. Good practice on talking. So you guys have a great weekend. I know you're going to go back to work on Monday. If you're working Monday, have a great day, and good night to everyone. And hey, thank you, Scott. Good night, and we'll see you soon, maybe at Boyers. All right, Scott. But thank you, everybody, for coming on, and y'all have a great week, and we'll talk to you later. All right, see ya. 2.0 out. Can I get it 2.0 back? All right, guys. Take care. We'll see you. Have a good one. See you on the next adventure, Bark. Take care.